you've done so much, you've experienced like so many different like industries, sectors, like experiences. You mentioned that the government was interesting, so let's circle back to there. Tell me what you did there and how you saw that communication in that sort of way in a very public policy setting.
Yeah, it was a sort of weird story in that it was in the Global Affairs Canada, which is scientists don't normally join international affairs politics. So I first joined them as a co-op position in my undergraduate. So it was a sort of internship, and it was in their trade commissioner service. So basically it's mainly focused on business and establishing relationships between businesses in Canada, small businesses in Canada, and international partners, usually larger companies in the same sector or field. And I joined the life sciences division in the trade commissioner service. And their team was headed by an engineer. So he established a team where he ensured that the person he put in charge of, let's say biopharmaceuticals, which is what I was in charge of, knew the science behind the companies that they would talk to, which is different to the other teams that were there. So that intrigued me. So I joined their team, and what I would do, I would sort of be a middleman in a way, linking these small Canadian biopharmaceutical companies or biotech companies and try to get them to meet with large pharmaceutical companies in Europe, in Asia, get them to talk, collaborate in a way, and try to boost the Canadian economy. So I would meet with different CEOs of these science companies. We talk about the science they do, how their drugs work, and how to best invest in their companies so that they can actually use it in patients so that they can benefit those people with certain diseases. So there was a lot of meetings there, a lot of emails I had to do, a lot of report writing I had to do. And it was honestly quite an experience. I got to travel to different places in Canada to talk to these CEOs, visit some of their manufacturing facilities as well. So you get to see how drugs get developed, and you sort of get a nuanced perspective about, these drugs are portrayed in the media as very expensive. And you sort of get to understand why it has to be that expensive, at least at first. And it also has to be expensive depending on how many people have certain diseases that these drugs are trying to cure. So it makes me think that the world is not as simple as it may seem from the surface.
Yeah. Did you, because I also have that background of working with pharmaceutical companies, and so it is a fact that, people don't understand that process and why things are so expensive, and it's because of all the tight regulations and things that industry has. And I think that for quite a while, and it is getting better now with science communicators like yourself and other people out there, but it was that lack of transparency was just so big that people didn't understand the connections. That's getting better now. And do you think that is a good thing, and that the life science industry should be more open and transparent about what happens?
Yes, I think that is a good thing. And I actually see pharmaceutical companies hire science communicators to talk about the science that they do and how their drugs get developed. There is one science communicator who got popular on Instagram and Twitter, who a big pharmaceutical company hired him to discuss in these sort of reels or fun posts about how drugs get developed and the science behind them. So he gets that engagement, and people can ask him questions and he gets to answer them in real time. Overall, that is good. Because it's so accessible, you get people who maybe don't fully understand how the science works and make certain assumptions. And it's good for scientists, science communicators to engage with the people who have questions, so you can answer them in all the nuances that could occur.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's so complicated about science communication, is you're taking lots of very complex processes and concepts and trying to simplify them down. And that's what you and other amazing science communicators are doing, and that's why it's so valuable.